Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday Show. I'm Hammer, and I'm joined by my two favorite Wednesday Show hosts, Perry Diamantis.
Hello.
And Jen T. Maxey.
Hello.
How you doing, Jen?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I am okay. My computer's being a little weird, but I seem to be able to do the show, so that's not a big deal. How you doing, Terry?
I'm in fear of my life from the long arm of the law. Yes, I'm in the naughty corner, big time over on Twitter. It's not just putting time out, I have had my account locked, and I have to delete my oh-so-naughty tweet in order to get my account back.
And this is not a current tweet, is it?
This is from the 29th of March, I made the tweet.
Wow.
And today was the final straw. It had existed just too long. They needed to do something.
Yeah, this channel has gotten nipped several times for old stuff that had been out there years, and we still got hit, so.
And yes, JB, I was quoting Renegade. That's how much of a bad person I am. I'm on the run from the law. My ever so harmful and dangerous tweets.
Why don't we go and say hello to everybody in chat?
Yes, so over on Rumble, we have a lot of talking. Blue White Screen, and we have Kevadam, we have JB, and Willet Forge, and I think that might be everyone. There's a lot of talking, but not seeing new faces. Yeah, I think that's everyone. If I missed you, I apologize, but it should be just those people.
Okay, so our turn. It starts with Mikers6546. Hello. And we got the 1 Ton Hammer, and we got Kevadam. Hello, Blue Eyed Scream. And we got Tyr the Scourge. Hello, Tyr. I found your bones in a lake. I thought you should know. I found your bones in a lake. Hi, JB. And I believe that brings us to the end.
Cool.
Okay. Let me go over the topics real quick.
Yes, since I don't know anything about them.
Well, there are 2 National Guard troops were killed by an Afghan national today.
Lovely.
Yeah, so that's a hot topic because the first thing the left did was said, "This is a white guy." And the FBI swooped in and said, "No, it's not. An Afghan national." So
maybe
brown, and he has a pretty thick beard, kind of,
Yeah, his skin looks white, but his accoutrements don't look typical for a white person. They look like
yeah. No, I mean anything that they can possibly frame as being white people's fault, even or especially if it's not, they'll find a way.
Saw a wanted poster for, I think it was Minnesota. I may not be right about that, but I think it was Minnesota, and it showed 10 people, 5x5 grid, and every single one of them was dark complected. I'll put it that way. And under each one, it put their name, the fact that they were white, and their age. And none of them are white.
JB is saying that your microphone is very quiet, Hannah, so you might want to raise your volume.
Okay.
Hi, Green. He came in last. I forgot to say something.
Is that better?
Let's wait and see if he says anything. But yeah, he was just saying the mystery of why Hammer's mic is so quiet. So hopefully he can hear you now.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. Well, I can.
Maybe something going on with YouTube. Or OBS, but I'm looking at OBS and my microphone seems to be, I turn it up this way too. There's plenty of ways of me getting more volume.
JB says it's better now.
Okay, well, that's good.
All right. Good deal. Second topic is peace ? There's been floated a possible solution to the Ukraine war on the horizon.
Is the solution let Russia have it?
Pretty much. Yeah. So, but guaranteed NATO protection and stuff like that is also part of the process. So it's not like Putin's getting everything.
Okay.
I think Ukraine should take it, considering how much money you guys have given them.
They want more.
They do. They always want more.
They always want more. The large tract of land costs a bit, you know.
Yeah.
That's what Italia told me, that Ukraine has large tracts of land, and that's why Russia wants them.
Good. See, I'm so used to Monty Python that huge tracts of land is like a euphemism for tits.
They still mean that. Yeah, the Ukraine character that they made for Ukraine is a blonde, like silver blonde-haired chick with huge tits.
Okay. But yeah, it's like the guy wants his son to get married, and his way of selling the idea to him is like, she's got huge tracts of land, and the gesture he makes with his hands strongly implies he is not talking about actual land. He is
boys will be boys. The number 3 topic is Seditious 6. It looks like
what's he done now? That rascal 6, he's always getting into trouble.
Kelly is on the hot seat for military justice. Hegseth is going to make him inactive, make him become active again, and then go after him. So he's a little scared. And I think I didn't think I broadcasted the 4th one, but targeted X's new location label unmasks users' locations.
It does.
So,
and it's very, very funny how many accounts are based in like India and Pakistan and countries like that.
And most of them are young white females.
Well, yeah, like there's a mixture of like hardcore, you know, like this is my political stance on like American politics, and I believe it very fervently. Location India. And it kind of undermines their credibility a little.
Now, how do you see it? Do you have to go into their profile?
Yes, if you go to anyone's profile, there is a little thing that you can click on. Well, you can either put your mouse over it and a little pop-up will appear, or you can click on it and you'll get a full page thing. But yeah, it says what country they're based in and how they're connected. So it might say based in the United States, connecting through the United States App Store or something like that. So it is very funny seeing everyone get outed as fake Americans.
Oh, it's about time.
Probably why they did it, because they're like, look at all this bullshit. We need to fix this.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been coming. I don't know if they know this, but like I think Elon has known this shit for what, like a year and a half?
Oh, of course he has. Yeah. But a lot of people are equating it to doxing, and it's not doxing to give away what country you're in. It's not doxing in the slightest to me.
Doxing has got to be your name and your physical location down to where your house is. That's doxing.
Well, I mean, I could understand if like someone gave away what street you live on, but didn't give the house number. I could still see that as problematic. I wouldn't want that amount of specificity revealed. But yeah, saying, you know, Terry lives somewhere in Australia, that's fine. I don't mind people knowing that.
I tell everybody what city I'm in, basically. I'm only a few miles outside Scranton, PA. So
that's it. We're going to find you now.
That's about as specific as I'll get.
Yeah, but that's kind of my point. Is like revealing the city is not doxing either. But once there's a certain threshold where you are getting too specific. Like, like I said, if someone gave away my entire address except for the house number, I would still not be happy with that.
Yeah.
Even if technically they didn't give my entire address away, it's too much information. It's too specific. I wouldn't. But if they said, Sydney, which is, I live in the city of Sydney, that's fine.
Yeah. I'm going to have to start using that now when I start seeing stuff online, start going into people's profiles and see who they are.
There's one slight issue is VPNs, but there will be a little exclamation mark if the person is using a VPN. So that doesn't tell you that they're definitely not American, but it raises the question if they're using a VPN to appear American.
Yeah. I'm going to do a lot of blocking and muting.
I do for anyone who's basically seeking validation on Twitter anyway. Like, it's one thing if you're just a particularly talented person, like you're doing your videos or you're really funny with your posts. That's not what I mean. I mean grifters who are like, yeah, I'm here specifically to make money, to stir up emotions on fights that I don't give a shit about. Yeah, I mute them.
Yeah, like, anything that's blatant engagement farming is just tedious. It's like deliberately provoking people into arguments, or this typical, I bet you can't name a movie that starts with A. Like,
yeah, like I'm like, it's like anywhere where I show support, some people will get more attention from me because I acknowledge they're more talented. It's like that with YouTube. It's like that with anywhere. But if you're just a piece of shit, yeah, I'm not going to follow you.
No. And yeah, for all of the engagement farming stuff that's just, name a movie that starts with A, there's certain people I follow on Twitter. If they retweet someone, I mute them. That's my system, because they engage with the sloppiest of the Twitter slop. And it's like, okay, if they're retweeting it, I'm muting that person.
One that gets me is the picture of a cute girl. I'm 26, single, all of this. Why am I still single? And I always reply back, maybe it's because you're
an Indian man?
It's not about content farming. Maybe it's because you're trying to get strangers on the internet and get validation from them.
So just so you know, your tweet is kind of what they're hoping for. It all counts as engagement. They don't care that you're telling them off. They just, the more engagement they get, the more visibility their tweet gets, the more people see it, the more money they get. So by replying to them, you're just helping them. That's why I don't reply to them. I don't quote tweet them. I just mute them.
I get falling into the trap sometimes. It's like that with some of the trannies lately. You really do have to mute them because they're just starting a fight for no reason. They want the attention. Yeah, it's probably the farm engagement. They are narcissistic. So even if they didn't get money, they'd still do it.
Anyone with a blue check mark that I don't know personally, I've got my guard raised. It's like, okay, are you just farming engagement? Because like they'll be like, there'll be like a picture of a woman. It's like, where would we go on our first date? Muted. No. That's like that's just farming sims. That's not actual content. That's rubbish.
Yet again, that doesn't mean every tranny. We know the difference between people who are like dealing with their own shit and people who are just, narcissistic, attention seeking.
Yeah. I mean, the people who are actually transgender, which is like 0.5% of the population, I don't actually have the problem with. It's the people who pretend to be trans because it's the current thing. Those are the horrible people. The Lily Tinos of the world, the It's Ma'am person. Those kind of fake transgender people who just want attention because it's the current thing. So I will do the current thing and get attention and cause problems for everyone else. Those are the ones I don't like. I don't have a problem with Chaos Eve. I don't have a problem with Blair White. I don't have a problem with Buck Angel. These are people who are clearly, legitimately dysphoric and transgender. But, you know, people who slap on a wig and talk about inverting their cake pop in front of children at Disney, not quite so much respect for those people.
Or the dummies who want stuff like my cramps. I'm like, I've tried to give that away to gay men before, and they all said no. They're like, that's a trap. Why would you do that? And then all of a sudden, all these trannies are like, I want to know what a period's like. I'm like, no, you fucking don't.
Of course they don't. They want to pretend. Like if there was a product that made them leak some sort of red-colored fluid, there wasn't blood. It was just like some weird discharge. They would buy a million of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at me, I'm perioding. Like, yes, those people just want attention, and you should not give it to them.
Mm-hmm. I agree. They've done so much damage.
And one thing I've heard is that support for gay marriage has gone way, way down. Like the gays are catching strays because it's not the gay people that are causing the problem, but because it's the LGBT movement and the G is mixed in there with the T. Everyone is hating on gay people because they're part of the same acronym. And those T pluses, they've got a lot to answer for.
Well, it seems like a lot of this is dying down.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear much about this stuff anymore. I know Bearing and Sugar Tits are still harping on it pretty relentlessly, but at least in America, I don't really see it on Twitter much anymore, and I very rarely see it on YouTube. So it might be on TikTok. Who knows? Yes,
Australia is far more leftist than America, so it makes sense that the Australian YouTube channel is still talking about it. It's still a thing down here.
It's not that they're not still going on about it. It's just the main focus isn't on trans people anymore. Like, stuff is still happening, but like you would have to really kind of follow. Like, I follow Buck Angel enough to get enough heads up on stuff that's going on currently. I guess the horror doctor's trying to set up shop in California, and they're really fighting against her doing that because she's the type to butcher children.
Oh yeah.
No, most of the focus is kind of shifted a lot because a lot of people that are kind of in the middle, like, I'm not pro Jeffree Star. I don't follow his stuff. Like, I would have to actually follow his stuff to be pro Jeffree Star, and I'm not. He had a stint where something happened with his makeup, and that's why he had a lot of fluffs with a lot of people. But he's always been open with his opinion on this shit, and he's actually called this out a lot sooner than this year. It's just a lot of people forgot he existed and then caught his TikTok.
Yeah, I know zero things about him except that he called out. Well, I forget which trans person it was that he was complaining about, but one of them.
Mm-hmm. He called out Lily Tino.
It was Lily Tino, okay. Because I know I saw, I think it was Sydney Watson had a video, and she mentioned Jeffree Star and played a clip of him criticizing Lily Tino.
I was also biased because I was fans with Blair first, and she used to get into fights with him. So I'm just being honest. I was pro Blair more than pro Jeffree because I like Blair more. But here's the thing. I don't disagree with the guy. You know, I don't disagree with him simply because I'm more pro Blair. I agree with what he said because I agree with him. You know, everyone has times on the YouTube where when you look into them, you can disagree with their behavior. Like, they were all hanging out together with Trisha Paytas and all of them. And I call them the cancer group because they're not really good people. But that doesn't mean that he's wrong or that he's wrong all the time or that he's overall a bad person. Just in that group, they were toxic. If you know, everyone I've mentioned in that, you can kind of tell. But
yeah, like I know zero things about Jeffree Star, so I am not for or against him. I like the fact that he dislikes Lily Tino. If he also dislikes Blair, then fair enough. I'm not going to take sides in that, but
I can't say anything there. Like, they haven't talked about each other in years. And like, given the fact that he's on the same track, I could see Blair being like, well, I dislike who you were in the past, but
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's necessarily that petty. It's really, you know, people change.
And who was the trans person that Blair was fighting with? Yaniv, Jessica Yaniv, that's the one. Where she pulled like a taser or something, and turns out that's illegal in Canada, so she shouldn't have done that. Or he, I suppose.
Whatever happened with that?
He's a guy. I don't know the details of what happened.
He did get fined for that, but like he's still doing his thing. He's still a menace in BC. Every once in a while, the Rebel talks about him because he assaulted 2 of their journalists at different intervals. But he's a nutcase. It's just, yet again, it's one of those tough times where Canada has built their own problems. And even though we're trying to fight against it like you guys are, it's been a hard struggle. But yeah, Yaniv is still he's still a free person.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that guy. That was back when I was still watching Blair, because I kind of just drifted away from her channel. But yeah, I remember that guy, the Yaniv guy with the taser or whatever, and getting fined for it. That was funny.
The thing with Blair's channel is it's really kind of hard to catch her stuff, or at least catch it currently, because she'll post something and within like 2 to 3 weeks it gets taken down. So she ends up reposting it, like either tweaking it or doing whatever it is that she needs to do to repost it, and then she reposts it. So it seems like she's constantly posting the same videos when she's not. And she's been, like a lot of people, like they get a little bit more money if they do interviews than necessarily just doing their own channel.
Right.
So.
And we look forward to saying that Jeffree Star went on a full tirade that he's not trans and not a woman. And I think that's what was in the Sydney Watson video. I remember him saying something very similar to that, yes.
Hey, Jack.
He's just a man who likes makeup. And yes, you wax my balls big guy. That is the Yaniv that I was thinking of. Yes, Jack.
It is. There's so many of those up here that I had to pull away from that because it was driving me insane. You know.
Well, I like that we're almost away from it, because it was really invasive. I think now on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 2 or 3. So it's easy to ignore.
Yeah, I like that Asmongold is also like making fun of it, because like he's got a very big following. So I think anything that Asmongold champions is going to get a lot of support just because it's him. He's got that fan base. So yeah, I'm glad anytime Asmongold says something that I agree with, because it means that culture's probably going to have a slight push in the right direction.
I hope so. Like it was going to somewhere really scary, at least for kids.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So
I am very concerned for my nephew especially, but I suppose my niece as well. But especially my nephew. He's like 4 or 5 years old. He's going through the school system. Oh, that poor kid. he's gonna go through it.
Yeah, homeschool. It's the only way.
Oh yeah, that's never going to happen. His parents are not going to be doing that. I can tell you now.
A lot of it is not everyone can really do the homeschooling and do it effectively. Like I know that sounds like a cop out.
I mean, it's not possible for everyone to do it.
It's something that I kind of wish that because we were really getting close to building like block party homeschoolings, because the way our school system up here has been acting with our kids, it's just, no, our parents aren't any happier than some of your towns. Like, this hyper focus on sexuality is not productive for anybody. And it's really kind of disturbing. So like a lot of people were like, okay, I'd like my kids to be able to do math and be able to read and be able to, contemplate different ideas without it overwhelming them.
Yeah.
But like, it's just step by step, like I'm not opposed to subjects that are a little bit more difficult for a child, because I think our TV, like at least our cartoons, have been dumbing our kids down. I don't mind a challenge. It's just, that's not a challenge. That's just an adult being a pervert.
Yes, it is.
So I can understand a lot of people wanting like full on block homeschooling, because our kids are stupid. Not all of them, but like
no, it's all of them. All kids are stupid. They stop being stupid, some of them, when they get older, but all kids are stupid. It's just
and I'm saying this is somebody who's not necessarily that intelligent, Terry. Like that scares me.
No, I mean, I flatter myself that I'm smarter than the average person, but that could just be Dunning-Kruger. Let's be real. Everyone thinks they're above average intelligence. But even with that said, no, I mean, as a kid, you don't know anything. It's not your fault that you're stupid, but kids don't know anything. They haven't had a chance to learn it yet.
Yeah, there's a big difference between being stupid and being ignorant or unschooled. So just because they haven't been taught anything yet doesn't make them stupid. It just makes them,
Yeah, but they also haven't developed their reasoning skills either, because that's not something you can do at the age of 6. You generally need to be a bit older before you develop actual intelligence.
At best, you might have a lot of artists. Maybe.
What's that?
I was joking. At best, you might have a lot of artists.
Oh.
There was a big thing with Stossel online a couple of weeks ago about how American schools are not teaching phonics for reading. And that's the reason why all the kids are graduating and don't know how to read anything past like the 5th or 6th level.
Yeah. You don't need to learn your ABCs. You need to learn your LGBTs.
He showed a picture of a teacher teaching a child, and he had a picture of a butterfly. And underneath it was the word butterfly. And she says, I want you to equate this word with this picture. And the kid said, butterfly, buh. And she says, no, don't sound it out. She said, just look at the picture and look at the word and understand that they're the same thing.
Right.
So she was actively discouraging phonics, even though it was his natural response.
Well, that's how people learn languages, yeah. Like when I was a kid, I would sound things out to learn the word. It's just how you do it.
That's phonics. So
yes.
Which you would want to do, because like the first start of that word is butter, which is a different thing. There's a cube of butter, and then you've got butter underneath the cube, and then you've got butterfly. Like that stuff horrifies me.
Assassin says abolish the teachers' unions. Honestly, yes. At this point, yes.
There was a video going around of a young girl with a white top on, and she was at her work, and she had a camera in front of her, and she leaned to the camera and she says, I can't spell. She says, my entire life I've grown up with spell checkers to help spell for me. She says, now I'm in a corporate environment making 6 figures, and I still can't spell.
I mean, that makes sense. Because like with the invention of writing, people's memories got worse because they didn't need to remember as much because you could write things down. So as technology advances, certain skills are no longer as important and fall by the wayside. You just don't have the same necessity to develop them, so you don't.
I always considered myself pretty good at spelling. Even back in grade school, when they would line us up and give us words and we had to spell them.
Yeah.
I was almost always the last person there because I can spell everything.
Yeah, I was very good at spelling too when I was a kid. Because it's something you can just memorize. It's
to some extent, yeah.
So yeah, I was pretty good at it. I was also good at maths, which is weird. Most people hated maths when I was at school, but I actually enjoyed it. So I got pretty decent at it. Yeah. It's like certain skills come naturally to people, but yeah, I can understand that if your entire life you've never needed to know how to spell because you've got a spell checker right there that will do it for you, then you won't have the same pressure to learn how to spell because the necessity is not there. It makes sense.
It's I'm not necessarily a good speller either. Like it's one of those things where I'm not making an excuse. I do have some severe dyslexia, but it just means I have to slow down and double check. You know,
Right.
I'm aware I have the problem. I do know what the spelling is supposed to look like for the most part. There's obviously the odd word that I don't use very often that I might double check, especially Latin. I sneer in the general direction of the Latin, but I love dinosaurs.
For me, context is important. I will not get nearly as irritated with someone who mistypes a tweet as I would if I was playing a video game, like a AAA video game. If there was a typo in that, that's unforgivable. But like people don't spell check their tweets. They just have a thought. They quickly type it out and hit send. I can make far more allowances for typos in that environment than in something that is supposed to be heavily checked and edited and, you know, before it gets sent out, it's supposed to have that stuff taken care of. So
It's also, especially the last couple of years, pretty much almost everything does have a spell check. And I'm not saying that you have to use that, but if you've got a little red line underneath a word, that means you've misspelled it. So it gives you at least another chance to at least fix that.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna fix my overall mistakes, but like I could catch on to stuff like that and be like, okay, I can do it right next time.
If you misspell a word or Siri screws you up or whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I saw a tweet the other day and it said Steve Garvey is a baseball and he's in the Hall of Fame. And I thought, he's a baseball.
He is.
He's not a baseball player.
No.
He's a baseball. And I sent a note back saying he is not a baseball.
Yeah. I mean, if it gets to the point where it's changing the meaning of the sentence, then that's a problem.
Yeah. Leave out a whole word, you know.
Yeah. If he had said baseball, but he said BAYS ball, then I'd be like, okay, it looks stupid, but I know what you mean. You mean baseball.
Right.
You just spelled it. But if he left out a word and said this person is a baseball as opposed to a baseball player, then yeah, that's a bit of an extra problem that I'm only willing to be so forgiving. If you're
just not paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah, if your typos are changing the meaning of your sentences, then that becomes a far bigger problem.
See, I know the difference between your and you are, but it's a habit. It's a very bad habit. Like I had to break it to really think, what am I saying here, Jen? Like, are you saying yours? This is yours?
Yeah,
like yours?
No, I do the same thing. It's the same with it. I have to stop and think, am I saying it is or like it's as in and I'll be like, okay, no, I do need the apostrophe or I don't need it. So yeah, I have to stop and think about some of these things. But I mean, I know the rules, so I know which way to go. But it's just it's easy to make these mistakes.
Whenever I put out a tweet, it's always type it out, stop and look at it. And even then I miss from time to time. I won't catch a typo. But whenever there's a you and your or there and there or it's or stuff like that, I always take an extra second to make sure I'm using the right ones.
Yeah. So do I. And Gunsky just says it's, and then the Liberty Bell March plays, which is a reference to Monty Python.
But here's the thing, though. I think that's the difference, though, is reflecting, like rechecking your stuff and then being like, yeah, no, that was wrong. Like it's knowing the difference between, okay, well, I did do that wrong because we've been educated on what it's supposed to be, and also reading. That's another thing that the teachers were saying, that the kids are struggling to read, and I get this one confused. I'm not sure if they're saying it's the first person or the third person, but the teachers have them reading like a singular type. Like I'm not sure if it's all first person. So they need to read everything in first person. Like they're not really good at reading third person. And I'm like, that's the problem. They're so hyper focused on sexuality instead of actual fucking books.
Yeah.
Like I understand sometimes the context of the book might be too dark for some kids or their parents because their parents are a bunch of Karens. I liked some of Shakespeare. I liked some of actually some of the American authors were pretty good. A lot of dark authors, especially if you like Greek mythology.
You have to remember, there are some people who are just dumb. Like the I can't perceive breakfast types. Those people, then they're just lost causes. You're never going to be able to get them to do anything. They don't care. They don't know that they're spelling things wrong. It's just not relevant to them. So
no effort.
You do have to make sure that it's the sort of person that would actually care before you bother pointing any of this stuff out.
That's just it. Like Mark Twain, like I understand it was a different time zone, but like, yeah, I'm sorry slavery existed, but at least it's at least an imagination of what the world might have been like from at least a storytelling perspective.
I think the whole idea of context has been lost. Like so many times I've used, let's just say the same word as Mark Twain. Let's keep it YouTube friendly because we're on Minions. But like in the context, I'm not using it as a slur to insult someone. I'm just saying the word in a context where it makes sense to say the word. If I was like on the show South Park, Randy Marsh got in trouble for saying that word. Well, in that context, I'm stating a fact. I'm not insulting anyone. But I would still get dinged on Twitter because of, hate speech and miscellaneous bullshit.
But here's the thing: they've made that word so sensitive that Lord forbid you use the the Spanish word for black.
Yeah.
No,
it's stupid.
It is absolutely stupid.
And yes, I do know that Silver Ravenwing. The character in one of his books is called Scholarly Gentleman Jim. Yes. Doctor and Engineer Jim.
Yeah, you're allowed to use the French word for black, but not the Spanish word for black.
Noir?
Yes.
Noir, yeah.
It's because I suck at French.
I
also think
the real reason is it doesn't have a G in it. That's the only reason that you can use the French version of black, but not the Spanish one.
I also had mixed feelings on that one overall. And this one isn't even shade towards Quebec. Spanish would have been more productive to learn because there's way more people speaking Spanish than there are French. Like one of the reasons I kind of get where Quebec is coming from is French is a dying language. Like once France decides to, I think they're fucking themselves over. Like you don't have that many other places that speak your language. You are not English. You didn't accomplish what we did. My ancestors are Scottish, but I got along enough with the English clearly because I speak it.
To correct Gunsky, no, not Jean, Jim, as in short for James.
But no, back in the day, I thought Spanish would have been more productive because, like, if you're
well, in America for sure, Spanish is way more productive than French because like you got Mexico right there in the border, so.
Well, even as a translator, like, Lord forbid, I don't know Maddie who does Spanish translations, and I tease her with Portuguese every once in a while.
I'm
a brat.
I did a few years of Italian when I was in high school. I don't remember much of anything regarding how to speak Italian anymore, but for a while I knew a few words in Italian, and there was no practical purpose. It's just I needed to learn a language. Like they gave you the choice between French, Spanish, Italian, and Indonesian, and I don't know, Italian, I guess.
See, the problem with Italian and meat is it's gonna make me hungry
Yeah.
because I like Italian food a lot.
Well, there you go.
I'm not a seafood fan, so like I X-nay on anything seafood. Don't waste your time. Seafood does actually cost a lot and it does take effort, so don't waste it on me. But
Yeah.
like, oh goodness, when I was in Italy, it was like all I could do not to get fat.
Yeah. I do like Italian food. I must agree.
They have beautiful history too.
Oh, I don't care about that. I'm not a history person. I'm sure the history is fascinating, but not something I'm interested in.
I mean, half the time you walk around, you're looking at like dead things everywhere. I went to some of the museums. There's crypts where, yeah, I went to the one with the monks. Some of the monks were like, we want to die naturally exposed, and they're hung up against the wall. And I'm not sure how long they go back. Like, I think it's like 400 or 500 years, but they're pretty much mummified. Yeah, you get mummified in Italy. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think I'll go for cremation.
Yeah, they preserve the bodies in olive oil.
See, well, Will's calling it out. He's like, Jen struggles with the problem with Italian food. 3 to 5 days later, you get hungry again. No, you get hungry the next day, but do you have leftovers of spaghetti or your whatever?
No, I mean, having the grandparents that I did, I had a lot of Greek food, and Greek food is delicious too. So I was very lucky. I was heading up to Coles the other week, Coles being the local supermarket. And it's not the one that you have in America. This is COLES. But anyway, apparently they closed off part of the street and they had Greek Fest. And it's like, I know this is annoying that the street is now swarming with people, but I did buy a souvlaki, so I'm going to call it even.
I haven't really had that much Greek food. Like, I think the closest I've had is the meat skewers.
Yes, those are good.
I don't necessarily... I'm not saying that American Greek salad isn't based off of something. I have my doubts about Americanized foods, so I don't trust that one's necessarily Greek. Like, the only thing, it's tomatoes, cucumbers, olives, and feta. And then usually like some kind of vinaigrette that's supposed to be styled after Greek something. And I'm like, yes, there's ingredients in there that are used in Greek recipes.
One thing I like about Greek food is that they use a lot of lamb, and lamb is my favorite meat. So, I mean, predisposition towards lamb makes me like Greek food just by default.
I don't knock that. I learned later in life that, yes, I do in fact like lamb. I as a kid, I knew I did, but my dad didn't, so we didn't have it very often. And then I went to an Indian place and like, oh, good God, did they have really nice goat dishes. I should try Greek then.
Yes, I know, Greek food is delicious. I'm just laughing at chat. There's a blue ice cream. Oh no, Terry had to see people. It's always annoying when that happens, I have to admit.
Duran wins the music contest for tonight. And the funny thing about that is every time Duran is one of the choices, it always wins.
Well, there you go. Will at Watch says I have to be careful that the Greek food doesn't approach me from behind. I don't know what he means by that. Is that the joke about Greeks being gay? Is that what he's getting at?
Yeah, I watched a thing about that. Who was more gay, the Greeks or the Italians? Turns out I don't know. It looks like they might have just been in a competition for who could stick their dicks into more holes.
Well, I mean, the joke I always heard was that the Greeks invented sex, but the Romans came up with the idea of having it with women.
It's gyro. What's a gyro? I have had those. I have.
It's just it's basically like a kebab. It's a gyros. Yeah.
I would probably trust that more.
And I have to remind people that I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
I think I would trust that more though, Terry. Like, no offense to the Indians. I have had some decent places, but the last time I went for a kebab, they didn't wash their hands between the money and making it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna suffer really greatly from that.
That's part of the flavor, Jen. That's authenticity that you're tasting.
I mean, at least it wasn't like I was watching this channel that was teasing some of their Indian food stands and how they would look in England if they were based off of the ones in India. And basically, it's just them slapping things on the grill, making it extreme when they do it, making it look like there's like a group of them, but there's only one guy do anything, and he's cursing the whole time.
And Silver Raven says Greeks are more gay. Well, I mean, like I said, the joke that I heard about Greeks inventing sex, yeah, I mean, it makes the case that they probably were.
Tear. The Italians, one of their emperors. Well, a lot of them fuck their pages. Yeah. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, weren't the Spartans really highly gay?
What's that?
They were afraid of their women. Like, their women were kind of like, you go out to war and you come back and you fucking win that one. And if you don't win it, then you better not fucking come back.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I think it was more like our women are insane. Like,
yeah, I mean, that was just the social standard, is like losing a war was like supposed to be fatal. You weren't supposed, like, if you came back from a lost war, they assumed you were a coward. Like, that was shameful. Like, you should have died in the field like a man.
Yep. Yeah, they were pretty much flat out about it.
Oh yeah, that was the military culture. That's part of why they were so effective at war, is that that was like their entire culture was fighting.
They got very good at it.
They did.
So, who did you vote for?
I can't remember.
It's tempting to say Donald Trump. I did not vote for Donald Trump for reasons that escape me. I was not allowed.
I didn't vote for Duran though.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't like it. I do.
I voted for Blur.
Yeah.
I voted for Elton.
Well, Blur and Elton John were both equally unpopular, and so was Casey and the Sunshine Band, for that matter. Everything that isn't Duran Duran got 17%.
Yeah, Duran Duran got like what, 50% or something.
Yeah, everyone loves Duran Duran.
Sorry.
They're a European band, aren't they?
I think so.
I imagine so, yeah. I think they're English, aren't they? Look. Darn. English pop rock band. Yeah, so they're from England.
Are they still around?
I guess. Let's see. I don't know where it says. Oh yeah, so 1978 to present. So I guess they're still doing their thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
It is great dance music.
Yeah.
I think the fact that their music ended up on James Bond movies.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's a big deal. View to a Kill, right?
Yes. I believe that's the one. I've not watched James Bond in a long time, so I'm not 100% sure on who sang which theme song, but that does sound right.
James Bond movies used to be really cool.
Yeah, I used to like James Bond. I haven't watched
last couple have been terrible.
I think Roger Moore was the last James Bond that I really watched a lot of, in terms of, like, obviously not when they were new movies. I went like I saw them like as being replayed on TV, but yeah, I think Roger Moore was the most recent James Bond that I actually like paid a lot of attention to, and that was decades ago. So I don't have the best of recollections as to what happened in which movie.
I think it went downhill when it went to who's the most current James Bond? Craig something?
Daniel Craig?
Yeah, I don't like him at all.
No, me neither.
He doesn't even look British.
No. Pierce Brosnan was okay, but only because I liked the video game GoldenEye. So because I liked the game of GoldenEye, I ended up liking the movie because it reminded me of the game.
I liked it too. The girl was a little annoying, but I liked the movie.
Yeah. Because I did it completely backwards. Like, I think the intent was for people to play the game and go, oh, wow, this is just like the movie. Whereas I was watching the movie and going, oh, this bit's in the game.
Yeah.
It was actually the same when I went to San Francisco. I was looking around thinking, this is just like the Tony Hawk level. Because like there was a Tony Hawk level set in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And so instead of playing the game and thinking, oh, wow, this is like quite accurate, I was like, well, this is just like Tony Hawk. I've had Tony Hawk ride his skateboard on all of these places.
I just watched Superman 2025.
Why?
It's a new movie out, and it's a superhero movie. So I figured, I'm not a big DC fan.
I repeat, why? Why would you think?
I'm not a big DC fan, but it's a superhero movie, and I like superhero movies. And it's new, so it was worth a peek. And boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. No. That movie was really awful.
All you had to say was 2025. Like, okay, it sucks. But don't even need to know what it's about. It's made this year. It sucks.
So there's no good movies in 2025?
There might be some that broke the rule, but by and large, anything. Video games, music, movies, you name it. If it came out in the last 10 years, it's probably garbage.
Well, the latest offering from Marvel wasn't any better. Their Thunderbolts sucked. Captain America Brave New World sucked. So they're not any better.
I rest my case.
Yeah.
I think things will start to get better as we move away from the woke retardation, but the woke retardation has been in full effect for quite a long time. So anything made in about the last 10 years is just a write-off. I just assume it's terrible, unless it's from like the East. Like if it's Japanese or Chinese or Korean or anything like that, then it might be decent. But if it's made by a Western nation recently, don't even look at it.
Yeah, the thing is, Captain America was a super soldier. They gave him a serum that made him 3 times stronger than the average human.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't even have to exercise. But the new one, he's just a man.
Yeah.
So people beat the shit out of him, and I don't want to watch that.
Dude, yeah, no, like I said, nothing in the last 10 years. There might be a handful of exceptions that sort of break the rule, but by and large, it's been irredeemable garbage from start to finish. Like, there's a reason I'm going back now and replaying Super Seducer.
Yeah, I've gone back and watched older movies and gotten much more out of, I didn't notice that from the first time. And pretty old movies too.
Yeah. Well, back when people knew how to entertain rather than proselytize, and they were trying to entertain you rather than preach the holy gospel of woke.
Yeah, there was a movie called Johnny Dangerously.
Is that the Rowan Atkinson one?
No, it was the same guy who played the original Batman. Michael Keaton.
Adam West.
Michael Keaton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it was very tongue-in-cheek, very it was almost a break the fourth wall kind of thing, where he was saying things that were smart and witty that you could take multiple ways.
Right.
But he did everything but turn to the camera and wink. You know, it was
yeah.
everything but that. So yeah, he meets
And,
this girl. I think her name's Mel or something like that. Really pretty girl. She was just singing on a piano, and he walks up into her and she says, "Hey, Meg, you look really great tonight." And she says, "Who are you?" And he says, Donnie Dangerously. She says, "Are you aware that your name is an adverb?"
Yeah. And I saw, I think it was Blue Eyed Screen said movies dropped off by 2010. So 15 years, even worse, but definitely the last 10. But yeah, I haven't seen this movie, but it sounds like it was from the before time, the long, long ago when movies were actually good.
Yeah. So
apparently, "You lousy corksuckers" is a line from the movie.
Yeah, that and my mother hung me on a hook once.
Oh,
that was also from that movie.
Right.
But he's like at the very beginning. He's working in a place where you can get pets, like puppies and stuff like that. And he picks up a puppy in one hand, and he takes out a dusting rag and he dusts off the puppy. It's just like, who thought of that? You know, somebody thought of that.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's cute. You know, it's witty. No, where did that come from? But the movie is entirely like that. It's all double entendres and, you know, that kind of deal. So it's entertaining, even though it's an older movie. I spent some time fixing it up because, believe it or not, the movie is in mono. Yeah. So it's that old. I just don't think they put any production value into it.
Yeah. But like, if it's that old, then that explains why it's good. I mean, you've proven my theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure someone could name a movie from the last 10 years that accidentally had some quality to it, but those would be very, very few and far between.
Well, I think Endgame was the last good Marvel movie.
See,
how long
I've
has that
seen
been?
exactly one Marvel movie and I didn't like it. And apparently that was a good Marvel movie. So if I didn't like one of the good ones, I doubt I'm going to like any of the others.
Which one was it?
The first Iron Man.
Oh, it was okay. It was a good establishing movie.
Like, I was waiting for it to get good, and then it ended. I was like, oh, okay.
The first really good Marvel movie was The Avengers. That just blew all kinds of doors.
Well, I all I can go off is the first Iron Man movie, and I really did not like it. I was like, at no point was it interesting. I was like, okay, they're doing this thing in the cave to establish his backstory. That's fine. Okay, they're just doing this to set things up. It'll get good soon. It's been an hour, but it'll get good in the final third, I'm sure. Oh shit, it's over.
Yeah.
I did not like it in the slightest.
The worst part about the Marvel franchise is that you pretty much have to watch just about every movie as you go, because if you don't, Avengers doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, then that's even worse.
Yeah. So
I'm definitely not going to watch a whole bunch of Marvel movies just to understand the Avengers.
You could watch it, but you'd have all kinds of questions. Why is he doing that? Who's going there? What does that mean?
Well, yeah, I don't want to watch it then. Gunsky disagrees with you. He says the Avengers movies were awful. They were bloated as hell. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen them, so I can't comment.
Well, they made a buttload of money, and they were very, very popular.
I know that they did that.
So, well, I think we're close enough to the end here. Yeah, it's almost time. Talking about movies again.
What a shock.
Always seem to get onto movies.
Or music.
You guys have anything before we get?
No, I'm good.
Done?
Nope, nothing going on. Oh, sorry.
I just checked my emails, and I have not heard back from Twitter. They have not approved or declined my appeal yet. I just thought I'd check quickly before we went to the end. But no, they haven't got back to me yet.
Nope. They're gonna make you hold out for the whole 24 hours.
Oh, easy. I don't need Twitter. It'll be a bit annoying having my phone ping at me saying that I've got notifications, but that's fine. If I don't hear back from them, I'll probably just delete the tweet after the weekend. And like I said, it's 8 months old. No one's going to notice that it's gone.
Right. Okay. Let's get out of here.
Yes.
Have a good one, everybody.
Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. If you can't wait for the next Wednesday show, remember the Minions are live every evening except Thursday, with most shows starting at 11:30 p.m. Eastern 6 days a week. Host and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about Rumble, the pre-show. That stream will generally start about a half an hour before YouTube. We will be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.